How's it going, guys? I hope you're all doing well out there today, wherever you are in the world. And in this video, we're going to take a look at two new drive pedals from the good folks at Wampler. So these are both part of the Collective series, and I think the idea behind this is to bring the Wampler tones in at a more affordable price point. So these are the first two of the series. I assume it's going to be an ongoing thing. So we've got the Triumph Overdrive and the Phenom Distortion. I really like the format of these pedals with the top mounted jacks, and I really like they both got a 3-band EQ. So the Triumph Overdrive, as I understand it, it's been derived from sort of Brian's take on an SD1 and a Bad Monkey. I think it's sort of distilled down into a cool circuit. Obviously, you've then got the 3-band EQ as well. You've got this smooth and punch switch, which I don't know if it's switching between two variations of the circuit or just changing the tonal character, but it's quite effective, that, and it changes not only the tone of the pedal but the feel as well. I would say it's sort of a low to mid gain overdrive, but actually you can get sort of what I would call high gain for blues or sort of classic rocky type tones out of it. So that's a really cool pedal. And then the Phenom Distortion is a multi-gain stage kind of thing. I think it's based on FETs or FETs, and it's going after a more sort of high gain amp response type thing. I've only briefly played these, so we'll kind of explore them together. So today I'm plugged into the clean channel of the Synergy Syn 30. It's a nice neutral, clean sound. There's neither too scooped or pushed anywhere. Good for demonstrating pedals, in my opinion. And I'm playing my Charvel Guthrie Govern. So first, let's check out the Triumph Overdrive. This is the clean sound from the Syn 30. Now with the Triumph Overdrive. So that's in the punch setting. In the smooth setting, you need to bump the volume a bit. So to me, the punch setting, much more open, less mid-pushed. Smooth is more what I'd think of as a traditional kind of screamer-esque circuit. I don't know if there's a bit of clean sound underneath it as well, but very mid-push and bass kind of roll-off. But obviously you've got this 3-band EQ as well. So if we leave it in the punch setting, I'll just show you some of the EQ. I'm not sure if that's an active EQ, but it's very, very effective at sculpting the tones, and it sort of sits where you'd expect. You can really dial in that sort of honky mid-range with the mids control, and the treble and bass controls give you a really wide sweep on both of those. So if we check out sort of a lower gain thing now. What's cool with the EQ is where that mids control sits, to me, sounds a lot like where the mid hump is in the circuit. So you can decide how pushed you want that, hump, you know, how sort of, how much of that hump that you want. As I mentioned, this pedal can get relatively high gain for sort of a traditional overdrive. So I'll just show you that with the bridge humbucker and we'll sort of get a bluesy sort of lead sound. Which is really cool. I mean, it's a nice sort of smooth lead sound. And on that note, let's try something similar, but with the smooth control engaged. Yeah, like I said, I can hear that sort of clean blend like you find in a traditional tube screamer type thing. The Triumph on a lower gain setting also does a great job of just pushing an amp into that sort of sweet spot. So my amp's set quite sterile. Not much character. Introducing the Triumph. So a really nice dynamic pedal. Something in the Triumph, it's got two internal dip switches inside that add a bit of top end sheen to it. So if you're using a dark amp or a dark guitar, you can get that kind of presence on top, and that's selectable on the punch and smooth. So there's two individual sort of bright switches, if you will, glass switches, one for each side. So you can decide internally whether you want that on or off for each side. If I get a chance in a second, I will go through that with you, but I've got to unscrew the back to do it. So if I get time before this memory card runs out, I will do it. So I've finished filming now and I've come back. I've got dangerously close to running out of battery, but I just wanted to show you these glass switches inside. So at the moment I'm set in the down position. So dip switch number 2 controls the glass. So this is without glass. And then with. So it just opens up that top end, adds a little bit of presence. Let me just flick over to the other setting. So we're now in the smooth setting. This is with it off or on. So again, just adds a little bit of glassy top end, sort of opens the pedal up to my ears. The only thing I've noticed is that these work the opposite way. So number 2 to the right is off and left is on, and it's the other way around on the top dip switch. But I imagine that's just the way this circuit's actually been laid out. But I really like that they've included that because it does open the pedal up, and depending on your guitar and amp, that might be very useful. Moving on now to the Phenom Distortion, the reminder of my clean sound. Phenom Distortion. So immediate impressions are it's not a super tight percussive kind of distortion. It's got more sort of girth and hair. It's for lack of better words. It sort of reminds me of Steve Vai's kind of tone, that sort of pillowy distortion. If I turn the gain up a little bit. Obviously, I can play nothing like Steve Vai, but hopefully you catch my drift. So gain range wise on this pedal, let's start with a lower gain thing. As the gain goes up, it actually sort of tightens up. It reminds me, it's got like a sort of thrashy kind of thing about it. Again, thrash chops, not what they should be, but it's got that kind of vintage Metallica kind of vibe to it. It's very cool. It's kind of different to what I would normally gravitate towards in a distortion. I prefer it like sort of tighter, but actually this has got a whole load of character. And like I said, it's something I wouldn't normally go for, and it sort of brings out different things in your playing. So it's cool. You've also got this bright switch, so I assume it adds some top end. Yeah, it adds a nice sort of top end sheen to it. So I guess that's more for dialing it into your particular amp. If you've got a darker amp, that bright switch would be useful. Let's check out some EQ settings. It's nice because the bright switch sits in a very different place to the treble. You know, like I said, I feel like the bright switch is more tailoring it to your particular amp, and then the EQ allows for that fine tuning. Yeah, it's really great for that kind of thrashy thing. Sort of Metallica Megadethy type stuff. So just a reference from what the amp sound is to what the Phenom's doing. So just a side note here, this is what I really like about doing these pedal demos, is this pedal is not something I would normally gravitate towards, but because of that, it just brings out something totally different for me. Like I said, to me, this instantly does that thrash thing so well. And I haven't played any of that kind of stuff for years, and even when I did, I was pretty shit at it. But it's a really fun pedal to play. Really ropey kind of metal playing there, but really smart pedal. And like I said, not something I would normally gravitate towards, but I really enjoy it. I just want to give you a quick example of the two pedals together. Because of the kind of circuit the Triumph is, it does a great job of goosing up the Phenom at the front end. So I've rolled off the bass and got a nice mid push. So Phenom on its own, and then I'll add in the Triumph. So it just tightens the whole thing up very much like you would with your standard screamer SD1 type thing. Yeah, they work really cool together, and obviously you can sculpt that front end completely with the Triumph. So that was a look at the new wallet-friendly drive pedals from the Wampler Collective series. I've had good fun demoing these. Like I said, the Phenom's not something I would normally go for, but it just inspires me to play a different way. And that's, to me, some of the best gear is the stuff that inspires you to change your approach or breeds ideas. So yeah, really, really cool pedals, both of them. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, please consider liking, commenting and subscribing. It does really help me out, pushing the channel forward and keeps me getting the new gear in to show you guys. I hope you have a great day, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you again in another video. Cheers, guys.